are all familiar with the phrase, go big or go home. This phrase is used in the context of sports, gambling, motorsports, and business. All of us get it. It speaks of boldness, decisiveness, and commitment. The message is clear. Sometimes you have to go all in. You have to be willing to risk it all. Fortune favors the bold. President Theodore Roosevelt speaks of the man in the arena. He declares, the credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, who strives valiantly, who spends himself in a worthy cause. Go big is a rally cry for those in the arena. Welcome to another episode of The Chaplain's Desk. I am your host, Chaplain Richey, chaplain for the Sumter County Sheriff's Office in North Central Florida. Each and every week, as I spend time with those engaged in law enforcement, I am again and again impressed with the dedication, determination, and courage that resides deep inside of the men and women that serve our community. Stick around with us for the next few minutes as we consider what it means to go big and go home. In the recent college football national championship game between the Indiana Hoosiers and the Miami Hurricanes, late in the fourth quarter, Hoosier quarterback Fernando Mendoza called the play. A quarterback draw on 4th down and 4 from the Miami 12-yard line. We have all seen the run. Mendoza carrying the ball, spinning through contact, shedding defenders. We collectively held our breath as he dove horizontally across the goal line, stretching with the ball, extending, breaking the plane. This was a go big or go home moment. This particular moment was bigger than just a great play by a quarterback in his first season with the Hoosiers. The Indiana Hoosiers football program had never even appeared in a national title game. And yet, here was their quarterback making football history. Moments like this surprise us. They inspire us. Go big or go home comes alive right before our eyes. This was a once-in-a-lifetime touchdown that players and fans alike hope to experience. However, for the next few minutes, I would like to take a fresh look at this familiar phrase, go big or go home. I would like to reconsider it, to reframe it from my perspective as a law enforcement chaplain. I have previously said that I will, in this podcast, avoid getting into specific details for calls of service, and I'm going to abide by my self-imposed restriction. However, in this episode, I would like to speak about something I witnessed in generic terms without naming names or revealing addresses. I would like to speak generally about what I have witnessed as I have been with Sumter County deputies over the last several months. I have seen firsthand two indisputable realities. These men and women go big and go home. Not or go home. I began to realize this is the job of law enforcement. Let me explain. In every call that required one of our deputies to go big, each and every one did so without hesitation. I was riding along with a deputy one night when the dispatcher broke the silence with these words, "Burglary in progress." Immediately, we were moving very quickly down the highway. Now, I know most people think the location of a burglary in progress would be a 7-Eleven or perhaps a bank. My very own sister-in-law many years ago was working as a bank teller when a bad guy walked into the bank, pointed a 12-gauge shotgun at her chest, and demanded she give him the money. So that's what comes to my mind when I hear burglary in progress. But this particular night, when the deputy turned south off of the highway, the first thing I noticed was the headlights illuminating a road sign that said, "No outlet." And we were not headed to the parking lot of a neighborhood 7-Eleven. We were headed directly into 860 square miles of a Florida state protected wilderness preserve called the Green Swamp. Hold on for a minute. My mind was doing Olympic-worthy gymnastics. For those of you unfamiliar with the Green Swamp, this is not some vast, open, grassy swamp like you might see in South Florida. Oh, no. It is 860 square miles of thick, overgrown Florida wilderness. It is the kind of place that can swallow a person whole. And we were heading in that direction in the darkness of the night on a road that was one way in and only one way out. This was, in my opinion, clearly a go big moment. I got to ask, who signs up for this? What kind of a person pulls up to a location at the edge of a swamp, teams up with another deputy already on the scene, and then together walk into the darkness to investigate a burglary in progress? I was kind of thinking perhaps the deputies should just sit tight for a little while and let the alligators sort it out. Seriously. I know that some law enforcement veterans would say that walking into a dark alligator-infested swamp with the added potential of running into a couple of armed bad guys is no big deal. Some might suggest that I use as my example of going big perhaps calls in response to a man with a gun in the Walmart parking lot, or taking federal fugitives into custody, or any of 100 other scenarios to which a deputy might respond. And you would be right. I could use dozens of other examples, but I want to go back to the Green Swamp. This is where my storyteller DNA gets fired up. The Green Swamp is inhabited by a population of gators, which, of course, are one of the 8 great apex predators of North America. And that place is so dense that an official number of alligators is impossible to ascertain. Add into this population tens of thousands of feral hogs that serve as a convenient food source, and you have the recipe for legends of giant bull gators surviving for many decades, and perhaps weighing over a half ton. Some suggest the largest alligator in Florida probably lives in the Green Swamp. I go back and ask it again. What kind of a person does this job? Well, here is my answer. It's thousands of men and women working in law enforcement across our nation every day and every night who go big. Did you hear me? They go big. And if asked, they will just humbly respond with stuff like, "Well, I'm just doing my job," or "This is what I signed up for." I'm guessing there is not an application for a law enforcement position at any agency in America where, under the heading of job description, it simply says, "Go big." But there probably should be just 2 words: go big. That's the job you're being hired to do. Oh, but it doesn't end with that. Now I would like to get to my point. Those deputies that night did not get the option that the "go big or go home" slogan offers. The "or go home" option is gone. When the officer keys the mic, identifies themselves to the dispatcher, and responds that they are en route. The reality of the life of a law enforcement officer is go big, and then do it in a way that gives everyone on the team the best possible chance to go home after the bad guys are in custody. And I've learned that everyone wants to make it home. In this moment, we must pause and remember those who didn't make it home. In America this year, historical data tells us that about 140 law enforcement officers will not make it home at the end of their scheduled shift. This is a number that cannot be ignored. Those 140 are heroes, true American in the line of duty heroes. We should not, cannot ever forget those men and women and their families. In the Bible, we are told, whatever you do, whatever your task may be, let your effort be motivated from deep within your soul. Put forth your very, very best effort as though it is something being done for the Lord. The Bible is clear. In whatever you do, go big. And when you are finished, go home. Love on your family and let them love on you. Refresh yourself spiritually. Restore your strength physically. Calm yourself emotionally. And if you need to, reach out to your support team, those you trust. And yes, you can always reach out to your agency chaplain. Remember the phrase, go big and go home. I have watched you go big. Now I am asking you to let me be the "and" in the go big and go home slogan. Let me be a part of the team that wants to help you to always get home. Thank you for listening today to the Chaplain's Desk. I hope you have been encouraged. If you ever want to reach out to us, our email is chaplainrichey@yahoo.com. Chaplain Richey. Richey is spelled R-I-C-H-E-Y @yahoo.com. We will get back to you as soon as possible. We strive to get back to email incoming emails within 24 hours or less. Please share this podcast with your friends in law enforcement. We truly appreciate your support. May God bless you and your family with His love, His provision, and perhaps most of all, His protection. Let your mind be clear, your heart true, and your spirit faithful. And always stay safe.